We'll do announcements at the end, but first, Yishar Koach to Cantor Shrag. It's such a blessing to hear your voice and be with you. You whispered to me how late we were running when Musaf began, and I'm thrilled we are not running that late anymore. So, such a bracha to have you with us. For that and many reasons. For that and many reasons. I'm a little nervous to give this Dvar Torah today. I haven't given a sermon since last year. So. The first day of the year. That was the funniest joke in here. So buckle up. If you were to ask my parents, they would tell you that their biggest success, their best parenting decision, was letting me leave school back in 2011. I graduated high school in 2010, and I went on Nativ, the gap year program in Israel. The September after Nativ, I started at the University of Victoria in British Columbia, which I decided was not too far, but far enough from home for that year. And I had a terrible year. I didn't do well academically or socially, and it was generally a disaster. So I phoned my parents one day in March, in the second semester, spring semester. I said, look, Mom and Dad, university just isn't working for me. I'm taking classes I don't like or understand. I'm wasting time and money, but I have this part-time job at a bakery. I'm really good at it. They said that they'll hire me full-time if I want. I'll be able to support myself, and I'll be happy. But I'm not going back to school for a second year. This is not what either of my parents would have done at my age, nor is it what they thought was my plan. And it certainly wasn't their plan for me. But they said, okay, they said, as long as you're happy, healthy, and able to support yourself, and contribute positively in some way to society, we support you. I worked that bakery job for 3 years. I got really good at it, in fact, and I ended up managing a bakery for a bit, and then eventually decided on my own to go back to school and finish my degree. I moved across the country to Halifax, Nova Scotia, and I succeeded. I graduated with a degree in English literature and American history. I had friends, I played intramural sports, I had a seat in the university's state band. At some point in there, I decided to do another 6 years of school. Went well enough the second time, and in my senior year, I was accepted to Hebrew College for medical school, and here we are today. We're taught from a young age to never give up. This is probably the most often repeated message right through from childhood all the way through our lives. We say it, we sing it, we teach it, never give up. But throughout my life, and particularly including March of 2011, my parents taught me the important value of a strategic retreat. That sometimes it's okay, it's important even, to move on from your original plan. Even though I thought it was where I was supposed to be, continuing in university would have been a terrible, unhealthy, unproductive decision. And so in that way, through patience and understanding and frankly, just some great parenting, my mom and dad instilled this value of not continuing to do something that is not working. And so I stand before you today to suggest that actually maybe sometimes we can give up. And stronger than that even, that sometimes we should give up. I've spent the last month, the entirety of Elul, standing on the bima, in the chapel, in front of classrooms, and with you individually and in groups, telling you that this is the season of cheshbon and nefesh, that it's a time of counting and accounting for our wrongs over the last year, and working to right them, and that we should be working to find peace or wholeness with those who we hurt. And I stand by all of that. But what we haven't talked about is what happens next. What happens after I apologize? I've done the work, I've realized what I did wrong, and I've said sorry. Now what? Or then what? We often talk about Teshuvah as if it means atonement or repentance, even our Machzor defines it that way. But really recognizing we've done wrong and making an apology is only part of what Teshuvah means. Depending on who you ask, there are somewhere between 3 and 6 steps to Teshuvah. Rambam, or Maimonides, lists 4, so that's what we're going to go with today. He says that step number one to Teshuvah is recognizing and discontinuing the improper action, so stop doing the thing. Number 2, verbally confess the action. Number 3, regret the action. And number 4, determine never to repeat it. There is a 4A, which says that when faced with the opportunity to do the thing again, don't do it. And this is what we call complete tshuva. Through the lens of these 4-ish steps, tshuva feels like a very personal, individual endeavor, and it is. But somewhere within those steps, apology comes into play, and tshuva becomes relational and interaction. The Shulchan Aruch tells us that upon realizing we've wronged someone, we must go to them and apologize. And if after the first apology, the wronged party is not appeased, then you must return and try again a second and a third time. So in fact, not only should we apologize, but we must apologize 3 times, on 3 separate occasions in 3 different ways. The Talmud explains that the concept of apologizing 3 times is based on Joseph's brothers' apology to him in the Torah, when they asked for forgiveness 3 separate ways. We learn that the Talmud says that we must apologize 3 times, no fewer, and no more. Dina Weiss wrote an essay recently in which she said that this limit is strange. We may have expected the rule to be that you should apologize and apologize indefinitely until you are forgiven, until it works, until we're successful. Or perhaps that we should apologize until we can apologize no more. But in fact, you simply try 3 times and then you must stop. According to the Gemara, you have an obligation to try those 3 times, but after the 3rd unsuccessful apology, you need to accept that you may never be forgiven. Rather than continuing to push for forgiveness, we have to move on with our lives and shift focus onto something we can actually control. After apologizing 3 times, you have to give up on being forgiven. We may be inclined to pressure people to believe our sincerity, to push and nudge and remind them just how sorry we are. But we have to accept that doing tshuva is not only about changing how others feel about us, it's also about changing who we are in ways that are realistic and obtainable for us. You may ask Rabbi Goldberg, what is that internal work? How do I do that? My answer will be, call me after the holidays and we'll talk about it. It's a different sermon there. Recently, the synagogue staff and clergy and administration spent the morning learning from Alonzo Kelly, who's a somewhat local leadership consultant. I think he spoke with a few other committees and groups in the synagogue, so you may have met him as well. One of the many things he gave us that has stuck with me is his definition of trust. He explains that trust is like a triangle made up of 3 C's. Communication, meaning is someone speaking honestly and truthfully. Contract, meaning will they do the thing they say they'll do? And competence, do they have the knowledge and the skills to do the thing they say they'll do? He said that people judge him a little bit when he tells his 6-year-old that he doesn't trust him. But he's not saying it to be mean or to belittle him. He's explaining that their relationship regarding any particular topic is lacking in one of those 3 C's. So when the 6-year-old says he's going to walk the 50-pound dog every day this week, Alonzo says, yes, I believe that as much as a 6-year-old can, he's speaking truthfully and honestly. And yes, I believe that he means as much as he can, he believes that he will finish the task he says he'll finish. But do I believe that he has the capability to walk that 50-pound dog that jumps at every squirrel? I do not. That's a place where trust is lacking. Not getting the answer you want doesn't always mean you asking and hope that if you just get your tone right and ask on the right day in the right way, then maybe the answer will change. Sometimes it means there's actually more work we need to do to get the result or the closure we're looking for. This is true when Dad says we can't be the primary dog walker at home, and this is true when somebody we hurt is not ready to forgive us. We cannot allow ourselves to fall into a cycle of apology and hope. We may feel productive. We may feel like we're doing something by continuing to act, but the reality is we're not. We're wasting time we could have spent doing real work. I'd like to take this opportunity to clarify that I am not good at this. I'm not going to apologize for it because that would be hypocritical, but this is an area that I know I need to work on. I hold, I think, the opposite of grudges. I hold constant worry that I've offended someone. And maybe it's because I'm Canadian. It could be that my people are inclined more to apology. I'm not sure. But for whatever reason, I've learned about myself that I am an over apologizer. I know that I get uncomfortable when people say sorry or sorry to me when I don't think they need to, but I do the same thing to others. And it's been hard for me to get into the mindset of apologizing 3 times, then being ready to move on, knowing I've done what I can, and shifting gears towards change that I can affect. So the teshuva I'm trying to do this year is, instead of seeking confirmation from others, apologizing over and over, asking for forgiveness a dozen times, and making my teshuva external, I'm trying to identify that deficiency or that thing that I think I'm lacking and working on that thing. Here is Rabbi the rabbinic midrash that is a commentary on various biblical stories. At one point, it quotes Rabbi Ishmael. Rabbi Ishmael said, if teshuva had not been created, the world would not exist. Ilu lo nibrat ha-teshuva, lo haya ha'olam homem. From this, we learn that teshuva is not just an activity for August and September, not just when we have a little free time, and not only for this week and a half between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Teshuva, the difficult, layered, complicated process of working on ourselves, is a task to be doing and thinking about every single day. Because the fact that we are constantly trying to be better is what causes the world to exist. It's deeply important that we foster a community where people apologize when they've done wrong. And equally important in building a loving community is knowing when it is time to move on from apologizing and shifting our focus to ourselves. There's more to teshuva than saying sorry. As we enter the new year together, may we remember that teshuva is both about doing our best and figuring out what our best really is. We cannot judge ourselves solely on others' responses to our work. May we bring our lessons and experiences from this past year into the next one. May we merit the opportunity to continue working on ourselves, learning from our successes as well as our failures. May we find patience with ourselves, knowing that often it's healthy to give up or move on. May we each have a healthy and sweet new year. Shabbat shalom and Shana Tova.